cat is looking at me through the window.
I'll tell your cat to look at me because we are live. It's Friday afternoon here in the ATL. It's watching Amazon and beyond. And who are you? Let me do it. Let me get it out of the way.
Well, why don't you just do it?
I just gave you the close up, man.
Oh man, the bold one, the cold one, John Cold Rice Lawson. Uh, uh, uh.
It was more like the sleepy one, the
He's
dull one.
sleepy. I am sleepy. So you
Sleepy
give the sleepy
AF.
doll intro. Go.
No, I just do what I do. So let me do it. I'm Brent Leary.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm very consistent with mine. You're like up and down. You're all over the place.
variety is the spice of life, bro.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah, you never heard that one? Come on. You're old enough.
Who's they? I'm not quite as old as you, but yes, you're probably
Yeah,
right about
yeah.
that.
You're catching up. You're
What are
catching
you
up.
drinking? Like hot cocoa or something? I mean, what
Hot
is it?
tea.
Hot tea.
Yeah, I got tea bags that I get from Africa. From my trip to Africa, I fell in love with their tea.
Wait
So
a minute.
always,
You haven't been there in a while.
I know, man. I was getting ready to go just before COVID hit. I was supposed to go in that June last year. So maybe, hopefully, I can go this year.
Sven. Sven always has an interesting way of starting, announcing his presence. I guess I should say it like that. I don't even know what this means. Hey, next newsletter. What does that mean, Sven?
It might be
I don't.
from yesterday.
I didn't do anything yesterday. I
Yeah,
was
but
on
I did. He
hiatus.
actually saw something that was on my channel.
Oh, don't be paying attention to anything he does outside of my discussion with
Oh,
him.
that's too. What? Hater Asian is real.
You
No, I'm
know,
not
we
sick. I like tea versus coffee. I stopped drinking coffee like 4 years ago and haven't gone back. I mean,
you
I'll
like
drink a
sweet
cup
tea.
every once in a while.
Aren't you supposed to be drinking sweet tea? I mean, isn't that how it's supposed to go?
Sweet tea, what, here in Atlanta?
Yeah, you're
No,
there in
dude,
Atlanta.
here's the deal. I think I also, I put milk in my tea like the Europeans. So I'm very tea driven. I drink several cups a day.
Make up your mind. First, you said you're drinking it because it reminds you of Africa. Now you're
The,
European. I
the
mean, what
the
is
the
this?
tea that I get comes from Africa.
Yeah,
The milk being put in it comes from
a
Britain,
cow.
or yeah, a cow, ultimately. So, at any
Sometimes
rate,
I just
let's
got to
get
look at the
off my
camera.
tea and
Just
let's
got to look at
get
the
to the
camera.
tea.
Sometimes I just have to look at the camera and give them the this face. Sometimes you just got to do that. All right.
Uh huh.
Oh, all right, Ratul. Good to see you, man. No, wow.
No
I,
milk and tea, only
I
black. I've tried, man. I can't.
I don't get this, man. I'm not a tea drinker. I'm not a coffee drinker. I think I drink hot chocolate, but it's been a while since that. Anyway,
Yeah,
why are
you're
we
missing
talking about
out.
all this stuff? What are we
You're
doing
missing
here?
out because you know what? Tea is the drink of the world.
What is this?
Coffee is the drink of America.
I don't drink either. So what does that make me?
Weird.
Yeah, all right. Whatever. All right. It's Friday afternoon. We got to have some fun but you know what? There's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of numbers to look at
No, it's pretty
because
much the same old numbers.
don't be trying to take the joy out of my number crunching.
Oh, go ahead. Just go ahead in your fan mode.
I don't really think of it as fan mode. It's more of
Yeah,
let's just
yeah,
go
it's
over the
fan mode.
numbers.
It's
All
fan
right.
mode.
Anyway, so let me pull up some numbers here. Thank you. And I was feeling so good about it. It was Friday afternoon. I was feeling
Well,
kind
that's why
of
you come here, man. For me to.
what to get annoyed. Is that
Yes,
why I come here?
exactly.
Well, you do a damn good job of it. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
There is no
But you
joy
know
in
what?
my
I was sleepy before the episode started, and now I'm wide awake.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? I don't know. Jeez.
Oh,
Okay. So anyway, so Amazon came out. Was it last night or the night before? I can't remember. I think it was the night before. I don't know. Whatever it was, the numbers were monstrous. Look at this. Q1 2021, Q1 2020. I believe that's like a 44% year over year increase.
Yeah.
And you know, there wasn't as big of a drop off between Q4 2020 and
No,
Q1
I mean
2020.
that's we talked at the end of the year about possible headwinds as the you know pandemic started to ebb. Would people go back? Would they still be buying their groceries? All kind of stuff. And right now, all of that is to the wind. Amazon's doing it.
The answer to that would be just a simple yes, apparently.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're
I
not.
mean, it's shocked a lot of investors. They're like, whoa.
All right, I got to give a shout out. Rams, yes. Ratul, yes. I finally have some peaks give me a little Ram support, which I did all I did.
They were just talking about the draft, but yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
I got my new Rams hat on, by the way. This is brand spanking new. This is the draft version Rams hat, just to let you know.
So, like, you putting together a collection, or
Man, I've got. Are you kidding? Come on, you know I got like 40 or 50 of those things, man.
well, I mean, you move from one thing to another, so now it's okay. You're in Ram mode now.
What? Yeah, I've
What?
been in Rambo since like 1973.
No, I'm
Okay.
talking about in terms of hats. I mean, you used to collect all the black baseball.
Well, I
team
still got my
hats.
Negro. Well, see, here's the thing about this. The Rams were terrible for a decade, and I was kind of ashamed to walk out of my house,
Yeah,
with
you
my
still
Rams. So I had
should
my
be.
Negro from a Falcons fan here, folks. Okay. So I have my Negro League hats.
Do
I
I
got
have
my
on Falcon gear right now? It's even covered. This is a Falcon shirt of under the shirt.
dude, you stay in the witness protection program with that stuff. Anyway.
Okay,
So
so you still have your Negro League hat.
I got my
Are
Negro
you
League.
still buying them?
Yeah, well, it's hard to for whatever reason it's hard to get them. But I started buying this stuff. I'm out of camera here. So
They don't
this
care. They don't
this
care.
is Friday afternoon, so we digress a little bit.
I mean, look, we're people.
There's an equivalent to let me do this.
Oh,
There's an
okay.
equivalent to the Negro League for basketball. They called it the Fives, the Black Fives.
The Black
And
Five.
and so I started collecting Black Five stuff too.
Oh,
So yeah,
very
I'm all
cool.
in. Anyway,
Awesome.
but the
Okay.
Rams are on the
All right.
upswing, so I don't have
44% Amazon
to
up.
be in the darkness. All right, so let's go to the net
Dig
sales.
it apart.
AWS. Look at AWS.
30%.
$48 billion trailing 12-month clip.
Okay.
Just for that. International. Look at international.
60%. Where's your international? I don't see it. Oh, okay. You're talking about the blue.
Yeah. 28%. But look
Net
at that.
sales. Net sales.
Yeah, net sales. But look.
You know what? Here's what you need to do that I would really like to do, because you since we've been doing this so long, I would like to take some of these like things like this and compare it, because see, that net sales doesn't tell what it was like a year ago. But
you want to go back over a year? I think we can do that. We can do that too.
I mean, I would just love to know what the percentage was of international sales versus today.
Yeah, maybe we go back like 5 years. I'm sure we can get it off their site. We'll do that.
All right, we'll do that. Let's do that. Yeah, I would love to do that.
We'll stick to year over year at this point. Look at this operating income, man. That more than doubled.
Yeah, man.
You know what's even sicker than that?
What's sicker than that?
So, did you check out Apple's quarterly reports?
No, is that good?
Do you know how much profit Apple made last quarter? Not revenue. I'm talking profit.
Oh, like 100%?
No, I mean, I'll give you the actual numbers.
What's the number?
So I'm saying this is looking good. 8.9 billion in operating income. That's great, right?
Right. Apple
had $23.6 billion in one quarter in operating income.
Wow. I mean, off of what?
Phones, tablets.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying, it's the same old thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same old thing. And then you remember they were late to delivery last year because of everything going on, and still are. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's some of the backlog of last year, but they didn't have a bad last year either.
I think part of it is also the M1 chip. They're rolling
The
out these new
M1 chip.
M1 chips,
That's
and
right.
everybody's starting to do the refresh of their
Right,
devices.
right.
I bought one of
it.
those Mac Mini M1s, and cannot wait to get
To see it.
the MacBook Pro
Well, that's
16 with the new M1.
cool. Right.
So
that
they're
might
in the
help.
midst of,
That might
yeah.
help with your production here.
Yeah, shut up.
That's exciting. That's cool.
All right, so let's go. Yeah, net income. Look at that. Look at this. Net income up almost fourfold. It's like 3.5-fold year over year. North America, we talked a little bit about that. I want to get what's going on with AWS. Let's see. There we go. AWS. See, now this is the one I think people were surprised by because the year over year, it actually ticked up the percentage wise. Before it was starting, I think it was like only 22%.
Right. And the last time we were talking about, is Azure coming up on them and blah, 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 blah. And now, like,
they had a really good year. I mean, a good quarter for AWS.
Yeah.
And, they're back up into 30%. What is it? I don't know what FX adjusted means, but that's even bigger. But yeah, that ain't slowing down. That's picking up steam, man. So let's see. What else do we have here? I think there's one other thing I wanted to put out. Oh, I didn't have it. Okay. So clicking on all cylinders. One thing they don't break out, which means it's still not a big piece of the puzzle yet, is their advertising business.
Right, but they did make a statement about it. Right.
But what statement did they make? You got me.
Oh, hell. Keep talking and I'll tell you.
Let me.
Because they don't. I mean, that's,
They never break it out unless it's like really big.
So outside of its core retail segment, Amazon's cloud computing and advertising business continued to boom. Amazon doesn't disclose advertising sales, but it's included in the company's other category, which saw revenue growth of 77% year over year. So there you go.
And I'm guessing a significant piece of that 77% is ads.
Yeah.
Now,
I bet you by the end of the year they'll be breaking that out.
It's probably got to get to a certain threshold
for them to say something.
But we know advertising is just killer because Facebook also came out with earnings, and they had a big earnings call too. But look at their revenue breakdown. This is what's so funny about this. Whereas Amazon doesn't break it out. Look at the advertising versus other for Facebook. 98% of their revenue is straight ads.
I mean, what else do they offer?
Don't they have a e-commerce portion?
No.
Well,
I mean, they don't take any revenue from it. It's free.
Well, aren't they working with like the Shopify's of the world? On
right,
joint...
but the Amazon doesn't get anything.
You mean the Amazon doesn't get anything?
I mean, Amazon doesn't take a piece of your transaction.
No, I'm talking about Facebook. I'm looking at Facebook.
I'm sorry,
here.
Facebook. I'm saying Amazon and me fast. Sorry to keep you. Yeah, Facebook doesn't take any. They don't make any revenue off of transactions. Even the Facebook Marketplace is free still.
So they pulled in $26 billion in revenue. That's just a quarter. That's just unbelievable how these companies are just rolling. Amazon 100 billion, Facebook 26 billion, Apple is making 26 billion in profit alone. These
and what
numbers
Google
are unbelievable. I don't recall. I'm sure I don't remember what they did, but they must have been all right because their stock didn't go nuts, didn't go down or anything.
Yeah.
But look at how much revenue. I mean, it's almost all. They've been talking about bringing in other revenue streams. Don't they have a device unit like that portal thing?
I mean, they really don't have anything other than advertising that I can think of that would be substantial. I mean, But I mean, you have to look at it. Think about it like this, people. This is a lot of advertising budget being moved from outdoor opportunities to online opportunities simply because nobody was outdoors for a long time.
Well, that brings up another a data point that was not in that PowerPoint from Amazon, but they did mention in the transcript that their streaming hours for
Yeah, that was
content
killer.
went up 70%.
70%.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
No,
Because
I was just gonna say that 70% streaming, and you know what that's gonna eventually lead to
we hope.
digital
They
ad
hope.
platform dollars. Well,
They
yeah,
they hope.
but you've got to. I wish I had this other. There's this image. Let me see if I can bring up this image
Or do we
because it
need to
talks.
do they need to do that?
It's about attention, man. It's about how do these companies. The only way that you make money in this economy today, which is more subscription based, is to basically try to capture as much attention as you can. I mean, you don't even
Yeah,
want to
but I
let
mean,
it
you
out of your
can't.
sight.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I mean, reality is you
One
can't.
night,
I mean, look, let me just put it like this: right now, people are not paying attention to us, even though they are paying attention. Right?
well, I mean, it's hard to keep any one person's attention for more than like 5 seconds.
So
I
here's
mean,
my thinking. I feel that Amazon doesn't need to do that. I think their model was to put, which we used to always talk about, put this in place so people would purchase their membership. And the membership is what's driving the revenue. So, in fact, that they don't have to put ads on the thing that is the bonus, the bow on top of being a Prime member.
but the membership is about keeping people's attention. It's you
It,
notice
no,
that
it's about keeping. No, it's about keeping
it,
the membership.
well, you got to keep the membership attention in order to keep them as members. You got to
Okay,
give them something that they constantly crave, and that's
right,
why that 70% number is huge.
right. But why
Because
would you put a commercial in front of that?
I'm not talking about putting a commercial in. And if you notice, it's not like a traditional commercial that you're starting to see from these things. It's like when they bought the rights to do Thursday Night Football going forward. You're going to see the football game still going on, so it's uninterrupted,
While they
and they're
put a
finding
commercial on?
while they find smarter ways to infuse the advertiser into the experience without them completely taking it over. For the most part, they're still going to do those TV timeout things.
Yeah, but I don't want that in my movie.
I don't think you're going to get it in your movie unless you think about this. Amazon has the Amazon Prime. They just put out that new movie with Michael B. Jordan, which is pretty. The Tom Clancy movie. There were no commercials in that, but they
Right.
also have the IMDb thing, and that's totally supported by
Ad rev.
commercials. Ad rev. They've got Twitch, and that stream is starting. You're starting to see more and more some monetization from
Yeah, I
their
mean
ad.
that you get commercials on. That
But
you
I'm
get.
just saying,
I see it. I see it. I see it. I mean, yeah, I see
they got
that.
they got so many levers that they're pulling from.
Right. But I just
That's the
don't see them actually turning Prime TV or whatever it's called, Prime Video, into a commercial platform.
No, I'm not. No, I think that's Prime. They have all these other kind of avenues to distribute ads in, but they also need these like having these big name movies. That gives another reason for people to sign up for Prime.
For Prime, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what
So
they get the
yeah,
money from. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
But then they have all these other little things where they can distribute their ad network stuff into, and they're always in front of us one way or the other. I mean, then we talk about shipping, talking about building your little small business off of AWS. I mean, this is just unreal what they have done in
and
20 years.
continue to do.
Yeah. There's nothing, there is nothing in, dare I say, the history of business that compares to what these guys have been able to do. I mean, we just talked about Apple. Maybe this would be an interesting one. Apple makes all its money basically on selling a handful of devices, right? They make
Not, but we'll talk about what they're getting ready to do. But yeah, for now,
they make a ton of money off of a select, pretty relatively few devices, right?
Right.
But they make a kill, and it is a huge amount of profitable revenue versus Amazon, who is into everything and makes, I mean, their revenue numbers are above Apple, but their profit isn't. But they're in so many different markets. Is it better to have it spread out so that you really don't take a significant hit when things happen in one area? Or is it better to just be able to kill it with a handful of devices and make 23.6 billion in profit every quarter, but could be susceptible to one thing? Like some manufacturers have a problem getting your stuff created. That means it kills your revenue, kills your earnings, and you are susceptible to maybe one bad partnership away from being the top of the hill till on the bottom. Which is better? I don't know. Which would you feel more comfortable with?
I'm a multiple streams of income freak, so I like that. It's definitely saved me in my business to do those kinds of things. But also at the same time, like you said, the profitability might suffer, even though your revenues might be greater. Your margin of profit might be lower. So,
by the way, Ratul is right. Did you see that some of the stuff he was saying?
What did he say? I'm telling
you. The
product
I
was thinking that,
in the movies, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about that. Yeah.
So, but it's another level, because guess what? Amazon is the one, funding these movies
funding
now.
These movies, yeah.
So they could say, okay, we're funding.
Oh, they already are.
Yeah. So we're going to put our ad buyers into the movie. Absolutely. We're going to put our ad buyers aside, right on the side of the game. So as the game is going on, you can't help but see them there. So it's like they got every lever that they can pull on to do that. Yeah, versus Apple, which is like Apple has like what?
Apple has products, but Apple is putting together an ad network. That is why they are pushing the privacy thing very hard and taking a lot away from these other advertisers that were able to do tracking and retargeting, no longer being able to do that. But inside of the Apple network, you'll still be able to do that.
But once again, that's all driven by those few devices that all these people love.
Right. I mean, so let's put it like this. Is it better? Here's a good question to your question. Is it better to have people that are subscribing versus people that, subscribing to a service versus people buying a device?
That is the easiest question in the world today. Subscribers. You want subscribers. I mean, we just talked about Amazon has 200 million subscribers to Amazon Prime.
Right.
And when you have that connection, that consistent connection, because before, car companies, they're looking at, we want people to subscribe to our car. They don't want people just to buy and then you don't hear from them until they need another car 5 years later. Right. They want to maintain an ongoing connection, interaction, month after month after month, because then they can anticipate, they can understand better what people's needs are. They can kind of shape the way that they need to go. And you can only do that when you're in constant contact and you're able to.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the crazy thing when you think about it. The product is what delivers the subscription. So in reality, Amazon's somewhat subservient to Apple, because if it isn't for the Apple device, the Amazon subscription has no place to be delivered.
Well, kind of, but that's like saying that, we're all subservient to like IBM PCs back in the day because
Well, we were.
yeah, but how are they doing these days?
Well,
You
they're
know,
not doing so well, but I mean, come on. They didn't make a good phone.
yeah, Amazon didn't make they didn't make
They
good
didn't
phones.
do it. That's what I'm saying. So Amazon tried to really play hard in the device, and
Well,
I,
we know what happened with that. They
well,
were
no,
already a laggard. They were
I'm
already behind there,
I'm
right?
actually going to say this out loud. I think Amazon has floundered in the device voice area again.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I will say that they
They just
haven't
not
pushed.
good at devices.
They're. I think they're actually pretty decent devices, but I don't think
No, I said
Amazon is.
they're not good at devices.
Well, they've done fine with the tablets. I mean, people seem to love the low end price point for those tablets. They just see the difference between the tablet and let's say the Echo devices. People didn't know what the hell to make out of that Echo device at first, and I don't think they pushed on it hard enough.
It's just a
I don't think
speaker.
Apple put look. I don't think Apple pushed on Siri hard enough in the phone, or else they would have. They should be owning. People should be doing all up
But
and down, doing Siri stuff all over the place.
maybe they
They
figured
didn't
out.
push on
Maybe
it.
they figured out it ain't worth it. Who's making money on voice?
Man, it's just a matter of time at this point. I'm starting to see a rebirth, a reemergence of companies looking at how they can actually leverage this stuff. And this voice is a tough technology because it has to be extremely accurate. And the accuracy,
come on.
it has to be extremely accurate in order for people to want to use it over and over and over again.
It has to be able to adapt to different voices, tones, inflections, languages. It's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very complex thing. And I know me personally, when it first came out, you know me, I was sky high over it. But then I wasn't seeing the development that I thought I had anticipated seeing. I think it was because I underestimated how complex and difficult it is for people to get languages, to get sound, kind of, your accents.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Accents, intent, all that stuff is hard for a technology to get right and then transcribe it and then analyze it and make sense of it to the point where it can actually be a conversation between a man or a person and a machine that makes sense. We haven't got to that point yet.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: if all of the issues were out of the way and anything could be kind of possible, where do you see voice being simpler, easier, and a real need?
Microsoft just bought this.
Develop it.
Microsoft just bought a company called Nuance a couple weeks ago for $20 billion, basically. You're familiar with Nuance? These are the guys that did like the text to speech, doctors use this stuff all the time.
Absolutely.
All right. So Microsoft just bought this company because Microsoft already had really good text to speech technology, multilingual. I sat in a Microsoft event where people were getting up from different places and had different kinds of accents and were speaking different languages, and the real-time transcription was perfect.
Okay, I was so that's good. Away. So let's say that's one.
Wait a minute, but it gets deeper than that. The reason that they bought this Nuance company is because the Nuance has the library of medical verbiage and vocabularies, and it's not the simple language, it's the health language on top of the simple language. During the pandemic, telemedicine just took off, so doctors are having their visits with their patients from homes. Microsoft has this thing called Teams, which allows you to do collaboration and sort of like Zoom like stuff, with video and collaboration tools. And Microsoft buys Nuance because now they can combine their technology that allows you to do video conferencing and collaboration with this deeper vocabulary that doctors use with their patients, that they want to use that to transcribe it and then run that through AI so that they can not only be able to make it easier for for doctors and patients to meet via telemedicine, but also to take those interactions that have to be very accurate and then feed that into their AI system so that they can then start changing or impacting health incomes at a much higher rate. Maybe even able to take this data, throw it into AI, and find out things that they would never be able to find out, previously.
Okay, so
That
you're
is
telling
a
me
gold mine if they're able to pull it off and then replicate it in other areas.
that's your, oh my God, here's a cool thing that I think voice is able to do.
That's not even a cool thing.
But I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out practical use case where
what was
actual
not practical
people,
about that?
No,
How is that
listen,
not practical?
No, I'm not saying. That's why I let you continue, because I think it's very important for, medical transcription, being able to do, like you said, all those things are great. But I don't see the actual Joe that is at home needing to talk to any of these things. So Amazon put it in, or some people put it in stoves, or it's been put in refrigerators, it's been put in microwaves, it's been put in the car, and none of that has actually grabbed on, and the public has never actually grabbed on to, like, oh, that is a use case that is very, very useful. I have not to this day, other than transcriptions. That's why I let you talk. Transcribing is absolutely amazing what we're able to do.
All that stuff that you mentioned, though, was more gimmicky than
Okay,
anything else.
Look,
it's cool. It's fun to be able to order a pizza off of.
It's fun to have a movie on demand. It's fun to have your package arrive on your doorstep in a day. Those are the things that are multi-billion-dollar businesses when you're talking about customer. So I'm just trying to figure out a customer use that makes sense for a mobile device. That's all I'm saying. I mean, not a mobile device, a voice-operated device.
Right, but all I'm saying is, because it's still in the midst of this, to get the accuracy to the point where it makes sense. Because even
if it was 1,000% perfect, I still can't think of a great use case. Oh, turn my lights on. Okay, Google, turn on the lamp.
But see, that's a command. That's not a conversation. That's what I'm talking about. We've been
because she wants to have.
We've been rooted. No, we've been rooted in these simple. We give it a command as opposed to it's an actual conversation based on intelligence. We haven't gotten to the point where that we can even really do that at accuracy and scale that makes
fantastic.
Sense.
So why do I need a speaker?
You don't necessarily need a speaker now.
Exactly. So that's the problem with the device.
That's not the problem. That's not the problem with the device. The problem is this stuff is more complex than I think we gave it thought to when it first came out. Okay. Because when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is so cool.
It was so cool.
Alexa, tell me what the how many miles is it between this and that? That nobody cares about that. We were just doing
it because it does anymore.
No, we did it because it was like a gimmick. Oh, we could do that now, but it didn't change our lives.
I'm still waiting on it to change my life.
Well, that's what we'll be seeing if this is what I think happens with this Nuance deal, and when Microsoft is able to put it together and be able to start letting doctors and patients interact and be able to capture those interactions and make AI work to a point where it's impacting people's lives or the way that they take certain medications or the different procedures that might lead to this, then you got something, because that's replicatable. And
okay, so we're still waiting on something that means something. So fantastic. I agree with you. It's still not ready for prime time.
It's ready for prime time if all you want to do is ask Alexa to buy you a pizza.
I can't even do that. Have you done that?
I've done that before, and like I said,
that didn't seem
once or twice. It was like, oh, that was great. Oh, that's fun.
So let me give you something
that's not fun anymore.
Let me give you. Have you heard of Kendall Vela?
Who?
Kendall Vela.
I don't know. I think is that a person?
No. Kindle is the device.
Oh, Kindle, like
Kindle
in the
Vela from
I don't
Amazon.
know what that is. I don't know.
It is a new way to earn royalties when you publish, and I think this is absolutely a brilliant strategy. It's the ability to do storytelling from Kindle Direct Publishing, and you are able to self-publish serialized stories. So you create the story one short episode at a time. So basically, it's almost like a membership for your readers to get the next chapter of your story. And they're
That's
putting
cool.
it is
That's
very
cool.
cool. And they're making you buy coins, cryptocurrency, really, but they're just calling them, what do they call them? Tokens. So you buy the tokens to unlock the stories, and the publisher gets 50% of whatever readers spend in tokens on that story. I
Publishers
think
get 50%.
50%. This is pretty cool, and
Not bad.
you're delivering the content one story or one chapter maybe, at a time. I think this is going to be a game changer.
Oh, you know what that is? Keeping people's attention, buddy. That's all that is.
Yeah, and
Another way to
I'm paying for it.
Yeah, it's a return on attention. Once again, this is all this is about. It's about attention. Apple has it because, the funny thing about Apple is they're not the biggest manufacturer of most of these devices, but they own their whole ecosystem. So everything on their device is from them. Now they're on the chips now. And that because they've got like hundreds of millions of people using this thing, they own it. Whereas Android, way more Android users than Apple users, but it's a distributed, fragmented market to a certain extent.
Well, it's a brand affinity with Apple too.
Well, yeah, it's a brand affinity. There are fanboys out there.
Oh no, most Apple users are fanboys.
Probably.
I mean, once you get into the ecosystem,
I don't consider myself a fanboy, but I have a lot of that stuff.
Whatever. I'm not even going to go here with you.
Shut up. Let me show you this. I want to show you this too because Shopify came out and they had a big quarter as well.
Yeah.
And I was looking at their earnings thing. Yeah. And just to put everything in kind of perspective with this, they killed it. They're number 2. Look at that. They're above Walmart in e-commerce sales.
Mm-hmm.
But look, Amazon is still.
Well, I mean, come on. But hey, I mean, for Shopify to leap that far in, and it's all being driven by third party, that ability to grow is amazing. And that is the reason why Amazon sincerely needs to look at reaching out to the small business community. You guys have got to get it together because Shopify is 1,000% SMB driven. 1,000%. Maybe the top 1% are large business.
Let's see. Do I have any more of this stuff in here? I just find it that the fact that they're number 2 and significantly ahead of Walmart. Significantly. Yeah. But look, all that we just said about Apple, and they're only at 3. I mean,
let me show you something because I got a buddy. He's the director of marketing over at Shopify, right? And he posted something on LinkedIn the other day. He said 2020. So I want to shout out to Brennan. He went to Africa with me the first time. We went to Africa at the same time. So anyway, 2020, the world came together, and $307 billion in global economic activity on Shopify, $40.82 in sales for every dollar of Shopify's revenue. That was the one. So every dollar in revenue that they got, multiply that by 40, and that's how much they've sold. So theirs is the revenue. Who got the other $39? That's the big difference between doing business with a Amazon versus a Shopify. I'm sure if you looked at that number for an Amazon seller, it would probably be $15 for every $40 that was spent. It's so you know what I'm saying. But I just think that Shopify is playing in a game all by itself suddenly, and Amazon needs to take heed. They really do.
High number of new merchants joining the platform. And that's a pretty nice looking curve here. I'm trying to read this. Monthly recurring revenue. Oh, monthly recurring revenue from new merchants. So that's just from new merchants every
Yeah,
quarter.
I mean that's. Yeah, I mean you can actually see the effect.
Thanks, Ratul. Just
Take
shout
care,
out
brother.
Ratul. Thank you.
So you can really see the effect of the pandemic right there. It's very clear.
Yeah, you
A
can
leap.
see what it,
It's a leapfrog.
well,
right
it
there.
took right off in 2020.
Yeah, right in the middle of the middle of second quarter, end of second quarter, third quarter was crazy. Fourth quarter crazy. That's pretty interesting.
That is pretty interesting.
And just think about it. Did we have a Prime Day last year?
Yeah, it was in October. Remember, we were wondering how is that going to cannibalize?
Yeah, and it did.
Well, but the fourth quarter for Amazon still was 125 billion, so it didn't
But I'm
do
just
too
saying,
much.
yeah. Well, so you hear what they're doing this year.
It's in June. This was supposedly in June.
It's going to be in June as opposed to July. So they're moving it forward to test, whether
it, and
June
it's
is
also
going to be a better month.
why not?
Why not?
It'll be because they'll be able to put that in their second quarter earnings report. It's interesting to see that.
Right. That's true. Well, that'll be exciting.
Contributing to year-over-year acceleration in Q1 subscriptions. So how does Shopify work in terms? What does that mean? Subscriptions for a Shopify perspective.
I mean, you have to pay a store subscription every month.
Okay, so this is the actual seller subscription monthly.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And you do know in the back right now, Shopify is testing a third-party shipping facility kind of thing. So they'll do fulfillment by Shopify is online now and being beta tested by real users. So I mean, they're getting enough money. They're probably generating enough, capital and free capital to be an interesting player now in this e-commerce space or e-commerce world of Amazon.
You know what? One of the things that is also not broken out in Amazon's earnings, because I think you said it's covered in that other, and we talked about ads is probably a pretty decent part. What about shipping? What about Amazon shipping? How much is that? Are they making any money off of that? Are they?
Oh, hell yeah! I think that's part of their marketplace numbers.
Okay.
It's not broken out as a separate, like FBA as a business is just Amazon Prime as a business.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That all of that is in the numbers on the platform, I think. When they talk about profitability, that's a good point too. I'm guessing most of their profitability comes from the third-party seller fees more so than the actual product sales.
For who? Amazon or Shopify? Who are we talking about?
Amazon.
Oh, okay. But you're not saying overall, because we all know their big profit maker is AWS.
Right. I'm talking about just in when they talk about their marketplace growth. I am wondering, because you just put that in there and you saw how many. What was that? Can you bring up that graph real quick? Because I don't remember exactly what it was.
For who was that?
The one we said where we saw it leapfrogged. Was that Amazon?
Okay. Hold on. No, that was Shopify. Let me bring that.
That was Shopify? Oh no, I don't care then.
Are you talking about this one here?
Yeah, that was Shopify?
That was Shopify, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's even bigger. Oh, okay. Cool. New merchants joining the platform. I thought that was new merchants joining Amazon's platform.
No, this is Shopify. Look
Yeah.
I mean, come on, that number 89 million.
Yeah, I just saw it. I saw that at the end, just this time. So yeah, that's what that's a month's worth of.
That's like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I already made another 89 million.
I know, man. I know. Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
all right. So given all that we talked about, out of the companies that we mentioned, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, I think we mentioned Google, we mentioned Shopify. Did I miss any of them? I think that's all the ones we mentioned.
Okay.
If you had to pick one to be the big winner 10 years from now, maybe that's too much.
Oh
Let's say 5 years from
God.
now. 5 years. Which one would you take?
Oh, to be honest, honestly, I would take Apple. I would take Apple. What would you take?
That is that's a tough question, man. Because all right, I tell you who I would take, and then I'll just kind of.
Okay, go backwards.
This is gonna sound. I wouldn't take Facebook.
I wouldn't either.
It's hard to say this, but I wouldn't take Google.
Ooh, that's
And
hard.
it's tough, but
That's tough, but
that's
yeah.
tougher than Facebook. But they're so heavily dependent on ads. What if anything happens there, they could be disrupted. So I wouldn't take Shopify because although I think they'll be strong,
Right.
I wouldn't take them because Amazon is still sitting there.
But I think Shopify does have more room for overall growth.
Way
right?
more room for
Yeah.
that. Way
Yeah.
more room for that. So if you want to play that play, like just one which will grow significantly more over those 5 years, I would take them because they're the smallest
Absolutely.
and have way more to grow and move. But if I'm taking the one who's going to be the beast, it comes down for me. It does come down between Apple and Amazon.
Yeah. And here's what tipped the scale on Apple for me was you just don't know what they could do and pull out that could just change the world in a device.
All right, that's true. But
No, go ahead.
when was the last time they changed the world with a device? I'm saying
it's the Apple earbuds. I mean, give me a break. The Apple Watch, give me a break. Change the world.
I don't think they changed the world. Well, see,
Okay.
when I think of changing the world, I think of what the iPhone did.
You're never gonna. That's lightning in a bottle.
Okay, but I guess there are levels of this. So when I think of the iPhone, absolutely. When I think of the iPad, absolutely. When I think of the watch,
No,
not yet.
really.
If this health stuff picks up, yeah,
it's just a chip.
absolutely.
It's just a chip for them.
It's
not even a chip. It's a program change.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the health thing. If health data, if they really pull it all together and make the device something that you really can't live without, it's not there yet.
Or it will extend your life if you live with it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not there yet, but the
it's
potential
close.
is there. I'm not gonna.
Close.
Yeah. So it's. And then what the other one you said?
The earbuds.
Yeah, I'm not there with that. I don't think
I
that's
know, but
feasible.
I mean, if you just it's so. I thought that was the stupidest thing in the world. I'm like, are you kidding me? People are going to pay this much for some stupid. And yes, that's what kills me. And everybody has them now.
Well, but we know not everybody. I've got the first generation. I haven't bought that second generation.
Well, we can tell by the the 10 cans you have on your head right now.
I like over the ear, nice and comfortable. But yeah, I wouldn't. So I wouldn't go there.
I can't believe you don't have on Apple headphones as we speak. I bet you got some sitting in the closet that you haven't taken out.
I told you I've got the first generation earbuds. I don't need to go.
I'm talking about the big fat headphones. They released those at the end of the year.
No, I had.
No, they weren't the Beats. They were the Apple headphones.
Nah, either way, nah.
Did you see? You didn't see them.
I don't need to see them.
I know you. If you saw them, you would have just bought them just to try it out.
Nope.
Just because it cost $500.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
that's why.
If it had been a penny under 500, I wouldn't be interested. But if it's 500,
bought those bad boys, the Apple AirPods. Yep.
No, no, thank
549.
you. No,
549. They're over the ear. You probably will buy a pair after you look them up, and then you'll
nope,
justify it later.
nope, not at all, buddy. These are nice and comfortable as they sit on my head right now.
Actually, you know what it does do, which is pretty unique though, is that it's got when you turn your head, the noise changes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great. I can turn my head and the noise will change anyway without those headphones on. And Thomas, you are right. I do have a pair of the Surface headphones, but these are the ones I like to hear. Anyway, so you're taking Apple.
Yeah,
I
what do you
can't
think?
decide, man. Jeez.
No, you got to pick one. Just pick one, bro.
I'm going to say Amazon, and the reason why I'm going to say Amazon is they have a direct link into at least 200 million households right now with their membership program. And even though they don't have the killer device, they have everything else. And because of that, because their reach is across a broader group of people for different things and for different reasons.
You like the multi-streaming?
I'm going with Amazon. I won't be the profit maker that that Apple is. But this is going to sound funny. They're a safer bet to me than Apple is because they're more distributed. They're more spread out over various touch points.
Okay. I mean, I don't think you could really go wrong with any of these guesses. And I think those are the top two. I think those are very much the obvious top two, and time will tell as these things play out. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Do you see any dark horse? Anyone that we haven't talked about that could
in e-commerce
or fangdom? Like we're always talking about those companies. Is there another one that running outside the pack that you can see taking them over in 5 years? I don't think in 5 years. That might take 10 years.
Well, I mean, can we talk about Tesla?
Wait a minute. Thomas is right. I mean, I can't leave Microsoft out of this. Microsoft is into everything. And I
don't know anything that Microsoft does well.
Oh, they do a lot well, but
I mean better than anybody else.
I don't know if they do anything better than anybody else, but they are into everything.
But they're always number two. They're
you know
second.
What? Being number two at everything ain't a bad deal.
I'm not saying it is, but I don't see number two taking over number one. That's all.
No, but if they're number two across very important pieces of the puzzle,
man, how's that Kool-Aid taste?
It's not cool. Look, first of all, you say I drink Kool-Aid for Amazon. What I got, like multiple brands now or something? I'm just saying Microsoft is able to buy things like $20 billion at a pop. I mean, they bought LinkedIn a couple of years ago for $27 billion.
Yeah,
they buy a company that most people have never heard of.
So amazing.
They buy, but they have it. It's part of their.
I know, but that's what they do. That's what they do. Microsoft is the place where great innovation goes to die.
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far, but what I'm saying is, there's a reason why they're able to buy companies $27 billion at a pop, and they consistently do it.
That's where they bought Skype. When they bought Skype, where could Skype be? Skype could be Zoom, but nope, Amazon owned it. See, Microsoft owned it. We could go on and on about the great things Microsoft.
You know what Microsoft also owns? Azure. And Azure is not too terribly far behind AWS at that point.
Okay, but that's cloud storage. I mean,
no, really, it's not cloud storage. It's more. It's compute.
Okay.
It's CPU. Okay. It's the things that are making all this stuff possible. It's all built on either AWS or Azure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it's just cloud storage. I mean,
it's not cloud storage.
It is.
It's compute. It's GPU power. I mean, a lot of these companies use these services that we don't see
I
on the
get it.
surface,
I mean, I
but it's
know what
more
they.
than cloud storage. It's
It's
way more than
cloud.
that.
All right, it's cloud storage plus. Okay, so
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you talk to me about AWS, there was only so deep that we'll talk about AWS because to the general public, it's cloud storage. Yes, we can talk about S3 and all the other little components that run there, but nobody cares about that. And I don't think anything that Azure has, AWS doesn't already have.
Nobody cares about
I'm
you.
just saying, no. I don't,
Do I have
don't miss where I'm trying to.
no, but I
I'm
think
not trying
you are
to.
totally underestimating what Microsoft does and what they are.
I think
You know, their revenue is actually bigger than some of these guys that we've talked about.
I know they've been around since what, the 40s. I get it. You know, yeah, great.
75 actually. It's not 40. Bill Gates wasn't even born yet. But oh man,
you know, I like hating on Microsoft a little.
I
bit.
can tell. I can sincerely tell that. All right, we've man, it's 6 o'clock. It's time to get out of here. It's time to start the weekend.
All right, this is
I
the start of the weekend, dude.
I'm liking Fridays at 5. What do you like Fridays at 5?
It's working for me. It's starting to get there.
Missing Meredith though. Where's Meredith?
I think Meredith, she might not be able to make Fridays at 5. What happened? Maybe she doesn't know. We got to just make sure she knows next week.
Look, Thomas says you got to love John's wit. Well, Thomas, you speak for yourself on that one. I don't need to love it. A bit of it.
Come on, man. Come on.
Sorry, Thomas.
This must be my own boy, man. Come on.
I'm gonna have to doubt Thomas on that one. Oh, did you see before we get out? Did you see that somebody Brian Solis?
Don't bring that up. That hurts my heart.
What?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't like what?
I know what you're gonna say. The Prince thing.
Oh, that it's so much better than the original one.
No, it's not. No,
yes, not. It is because there's more. They're showing more Prince in there.
That's why I don't like it.
That's what. What?
Yep.
I don't get.
Okay, so let's.
All right, I understand why. I get it.
Why?
What sentimental? It hurts you to see it.
No,
I don't know.
Absolutely not. I thought so. Okay, let's be clear. You know, I get it. The public got to see how great Prince was on television. I saw Prince so many times live on stage. That was not even close to his best performance on a guitar. But it definitely was beautiful to see. It was great. Let me finish. And let me just finish. But the best part to me about that performance, it was great and all that. But the best part was actually seeing the guys on stage being in awe of what he was doing, and they cut a lot of that out.
But this new cut, you see way more of that than you see in the original thing that they put out there. That's why I like it. You see cool. Tom Petty, you see Jeff Lynne, and that other dude playing the guitar. I don't know. You can see the more of their meeting in the eyes, and they're like laughing and they're eating it up. You didn't see that as much in the first cut.
I did.
But now
because there was a lot more wide shots. That's all. But let me ask you this question. I'm going to tell you what you should do. All right. I played that, and I think I had it on my speaker. All right. So I asked for it on the speaker. So this time you don't get the video with it. Mm-hmm. And every time they do the break where they say, "So my guitar gently weeps," Prince does a hit every time. That's amazing. And I've never really paid attention to it before because it's like, okay, so it's before the solo, it's like after every chorus, it says, "My guitar gently weeps." And then there's like, he makes a hit right there, like, and then they keep going on with the song. And then he hits again. And I never paid any attention because it's in the song, but you got to listen to it one time. You'll catch it. You'll catch it. But see, you don't hear it because he's on the video all the time.
No, but you know, this new video, what is it?
I think Finn's back.
How about the Chinese players?
Oh, dude, Finn, I don't even know who they are, but the Chinese are absolutely about to blow shit up. Seriously, because they have put so many regulations in place. I don't know if have you been following what's going on? Because e-commerce, my thing. So with Jack Ma in China,
Oh yeah, what's up with that? What's
bro, man, they are putting we need to do that next episode because that's too deep.
all
But
right?
I'll do some research and we'll bring it to the next episode. Let's talk about China. Sven, that's fantastic. I think we'll put a little piece of China in this show next week to just talk about what's going on. So he's asking, what are the big things coming out of China? So let's talk about that next week.
Is that going to be Mandarin or Cantonese? I mean, anyway, all right, folks. This has been a good hour, a little over an hour. Enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it too. We shall be back next Friday. Next Friday, 5 p.m. East Coast time.
Yep.
This is it, folks. We ain't moving no more. We like this time.
Yeah, right.
At least for now.
We'll see for now, right? At least this season.
Yeah, this season, whenever that is and whenever it ends. I don't know. All right. We will see you next Friday. Take care.
Peace.